I'm going to give you 10 traits of babies and kids, that are essential for success as an entrepreneur. Traits that these babies already have, traits that many kids already have, but that for whatever reason, the older you get, the more you lose them, the more they get sapped out of you. And by the time you're 18, 19, 20, most people have lost these traits, and that's why so many people live a life of non-fulfillment and don't achieve their dreams. Number 1, don't take no for an answer. Do you ever find a baby that takes no for an answer? I actually tried to record this video with my baby. She was moving. I paid her off in chocolate. I thought that was going to keep her still. She did not want to stay here. She kept saying, go, go, go. And I was trying to say no, but she would not let me keep her here. She doesn't take no for an answer. Off she goes. She's gone. As we get older, especially as we're adults, how often do we take no for an answer? All the time. We ask for something, somebody says no, we smile, we move on. We don't even give it a second attempt, never mind as many attempts as a baby's going to give it. Now, I'm not saying that you will be the most socially acceptable person if you start crying and banging your feet on the table every time somebody says no to what you want. There's probably different ways to ask, but don't give up so easily. Number 2, creativity. Where does all that creativity go when you get older? When you're a baby, you can invent something massive out of absolutely nothing. You sit in the park with a couple of grains of grass and a twig, and somehow you've made that into a den or a spaceship, or some great kind of adventure. The creative mind of kids is unbelievable. The creative mind of most adults is non-existent. Creativity is one of the core skills of business, whether that's to come up with ideas or whether that's to find your way out of problems. You've got to keep that creativity gene. You've got to keep it, and you've got to fuel it, because creativity is the success of business. Number 3, embrace strangers. When you see kids go out into the park, they just walk up to other kids, they just walk up to other people. When other people walk up to them, they embrace them, they talk to them, they play games with them. Everybody just mucks in together. The adult version of that is networking, going to events, is meeting people on a bus, a train, a park bench, whatever it may be. But what do you do as an adult? You stay introvert, you turn your head away, you don't get involved, you don't embrace these people. Listen, everything you want in life, somebody else has already got. You just need to find those people and find out how to get it from them. And you're only going to find those people if you embrace new relationships and embrace strangers. Number 4, taking risks without overthinking. I mean, these kids probably don't know they're taking risks, but look at the risks they take that they just don't give a shit about, because they don't care about the consequences. Maybe they don't care about the consequences because they don't even understand what those consequences are. But what opportunity does that give them? I mean, they think they can fly, they walk off the bed, they hit the floor 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, but they're trying to do something new, they're trying to grow, they're taking risks and they're pushing. Where does that risk-taking gene go when you become an adult? Oh, you're scared of what people are going to say. Oh, you're scared of losing money. You're scared of losing your missus. Whatever it may be. All this fear, this overthinking of things that's probably never going to happen stops you taking risks and ultimately stops you building your business, building your dreams. Number 5, asking for what they want. Kids are perfect at asking for what they want. There's no ambiguity. It doesn't matter how weird it is. It doesn't matter how potentially offensive it is. If they want something, they will ask for it. Again, as an adult, where does this simplicity go? Where does this transparency and honesty go? You wonder why, as you get older, you don't get what you want. But you don't get what you want because you've not asked for what you want. You've either not asked for it at all, or you've asked for it in a weird, roundabout, diluted kind of way. You only get what you ask for. So if you don't ask for what you get, if you don't know how to ask a good question, you're never going to get a good answer. 6, learning quickly. Kids are absolute masters at learning quickly. You show them a new skill, they suck it in, they get on with it. You don't even have to show them lots of new skills. They just observe someone else doing it, or they realize they have to do it themselves, or whether that's finding their fingers when they're a baby and moving those fingers around, going from fingers to being able to flip over, from flip over to crawling to walking, and then we get into the world of languages and musical instruments and all these kind of things. Kids are masters at learning new skills and learning them quickly. Now, I've always been such a passionate, outspoken advocate for the importance of learning and the importance of being a lifelong learner. The statistics of people who stop learning after the age of 18 are frightening. It's something like 90% plus of people who reach the age of 18 stop learning at that point. They don't do any kind of education whatsoever. How limiting is that? Whether to it's the field that you're in or to the global grander fields that you could be in. When you're a kid, you absorb, you want to learn quickly. When you're an adult, you don't want to learn at all. You've got to keep that key skill if you want to be a successful business person, a successful entrepreneur, or just successful in life in general. Number 7, curiosity. Kids are curious to the extreme. Where does that curiosity go when you're older? I mean, curious kids, how why, where, the questions they ask. They want to know answers for absolutely everything, taking it almost back to that first principles thinking. When people get older, they stop asking and they stop caring, and that's what then kills the ability to grow, the ability to have creativity, as I keep saying, the ability to get what you want. 8, the willingness to experiment. Kids love to experiment. They love to try new things. They're not scared of failing. They realize that failing is just finding another way of something that doesn't work. It's not failure, it's just another step on the road to success. Where does that willingness to experiment go when you become an adult? Again, for most people, it just disappears. They're scared of failure. They're scared of people laughing at them. They stop experimenting. As soon as you stop experimenting, you stop growing. You stop growing, you start dying. Number 9, collaboration skills. Kids are great at collaborating with other people, whether that's just because they're being friendly and they're all playing together, or whether it's because they realize that if there's 3 or 4 kids together and they all have 3 or 4 different skills, they let the person with the right skills get on with it and they all work together, they collaborate and they build something great. When people get older, they lose that interest in collaboration, whether it's because they're selfish or egotistical or scared or embarrassed or whatever it is. But without collaboration, you're always going to be on your own. One of my biggest mistakes in my earlier life was not putting enough value in partnerships. I tried to do everything on my own, probably because I thought I could earn more money by being on my own. It was certainly because my ego was fueled more by thinking that being on my own, I'm the big dog, I want to own 100% of everything. As I've got older, I've realized that I can make so much more money by owning 50% of a bigger pie, 10% of an even bigger pie, or just owning different pies all over the world and letting other people collaborate on those with me. So you've got to learn to love collaboration. And finally, number 10, kids and babies, they appreciate simplicity. As we get older, everything has to be so much more complex, so much more bigger, so much more expensive. It's probably a boring thing to talk about in today's world of making loads of money very quickly and girls and guns and tattoos and all the stuff that makes Instagram pop. But the happy times are always the most simplest times. I always say, listen, I'm not pretending I don't like big things, I don't like fast or fancy or expensive things. I love the cars, I love the boats, I love this penthouse, I love all that stuff. But my really truest best times are eating Nando's and laughing with the kids. The simple stuff. Now, yes, I need the money to really have the freedom to enjoy the simple stuff, but everything ultimately comes down to that simplicity. Kids know that they love simple things. Adults seem to lose that love of simplicity as time goes on.